Hey everybody, Jeff Landon with Landmark Group. We're going to be talking about whether or not San Luis Obispo is affordable today. You might have some opinions and we might have some suggestions. Stay tuned. Okay, let's dive right into it. I've got my great notes today, so I don't want to stray away from the facts of what's actually affordable and not affordable. There's some rankings that take place, and we want to dive into those. So there's actually a cost of living index that's used to rate whether or not a county is affordable or not. From best places, we went and looked at that, and we are rated at an index of 146.1, which means that we're 46.1% higher than the national average for cost of living. So we're really not what they would call affordable. Now we know that in California, a lot of things aren't affordable. So how we compare to other counties in California themselves really depends. The coastal counties were kind of right in line. As you move inland, we become less and less affordable when you're comparing counties in California versus other counties. So that's kind of interesting to look at. The median home pricing in San Luis Obispo County reached 1.1 million. So that's quite phenomenal compared to what it was a year ago. It was 10.3% lower than that. So it's quite a large increase that we've been seeing. It's kind of the trend that we've been seeing in the market over the last several years. So affordability, there's some challenges to affordability here. Only 19% of the families in the county can afford to purchase the median priced home, which is crazy, and that is kind of a hard number, and that's from the San Luis Obispo County themselves. So something to look at as far as whether or not the average family that lives here can afford a home, and it's tough. A lot of people that we see move to this area, they have sold the house in a different area. They're moving in, they have a large down payment, and that's what helps out with some of the affordability. So is the county of San Luis Obispo affordable? I like to think that it is, but really when you look at the stats, it's not. And we feel that in our pocketbooks every day. But there's some things that people do in house hacking and different ideas that people do to be able to afford to live here. And I think we're savvy at that. In this county, we've seen a lot of our clients take advantage of some ideas. There's some a lot of times county worker assistant programs, different assistant programs that people use to get into homes. And also people take advantage of things like ADUs. There's a lot of house hacking that takes place. When people are just getting started in purchasing a home, a lot of times they'll rent out a room, and that offsets a lot of the mortgage. So there's different ways to be more affordable. Another thing that we're seeing a lot more of, and this is kind of interesting, we call it the family compound, but really doesn't have to be family, but a co-housing type of setup where you have people from different walks of life coming together to purchase a home and sharing in the ownership. So they start getting in the appreciation, and then at a certain point, they usually set a date in the future that they know they're all going to sell and separate and go in different directions. Hey, they could change that agreement or whatever, but having that date in the future is really safe. Otherwise, they could have some disputes on what's going to happen to the property. So that's what people are doing. We're also seeing a lot of modular. We have a really good friend in the business, Dan Ferreira, who's building modular homes, and we're seeing a lot more of that coming to town. I was at one of his work sites the other day off of South Street, or I'm sorry, maybe it was High Street, and it was really cool to see them bringing in finished, complete projects ready to be installed, and literally just craning them over the house, dropping them on this site, and having instant housing. And this is an infill site, so it's a bigger lot, downtown slow, and they're literally dropping modular housing, a few units in the course of a number of weeks that would be fully completed, and it would take about a few weeks for it to be fully completed and having people moving in. So that was really neat to see. And it's a lot more affordable. So those are the ways that we're seeing people kind of work around it. Also, what's been really helpful is one of the large housing needs is the college, and the college has been building a lot of housing on campus. So we're seeing that the college itself is able to provide more housing in downtown SLO. In the more rural areas, housing isn't able to be. A lot of times we have clients come to us that are like, we want to do this, this, and this with our 5 acres. And a lot of times there's a lot of regulations about what they can and can't do depending on the zoning. So a lot of people think, why don't we just build a family compound or compound with a bunch of houses on 5 acres? And that's really difficult to do here in San Luis Obispo County because of the zoning laws. So it's interesting. There's a lot of pluses and minuses, but we do know that our little residents here, that we all are really savvy. We've all kind of done it in finding ways to own a house. And I think it's always worth trying to own instead of renting. So if maybe you have a roommate or something like that, but a lot of times it's worth doing that challenge of, hey, let's rent out a room so we can get this house and get started. And maybe it's only for a few years until our income bumps up enough, or maybe we'll eventually sell this house and move up. But that's the story. Kind of interesting. Yeah, San Luis Obispo is maybe not the most affordable place to live, but it is a great place to live. It's beautiful. There's nowhere else like it. And hopefully that data was helpful for you all. Hey, take care. Again, I'm Jeff Landon with Landmark Real Estate Group. We really want to help people, guide them through the challenges of the county, to be real about it, but also help people get homes. And we've done it for all situations, and we want to help you as well. Hey, take care, everybody. Bye.